Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. This quote by Nelson Mandela reminds us of the vital role education plays in shaping individuals and transforming societies. Welcome to another edition of Edu Dialogue on Voice of the People Television, where we engage minds, inspire ideas, and explore issues that matter in the world of education. I'm Matthew Ogunswada. Today on the program, we will be examining the growing concern over certificate forgery and its implication for Nigeria's educational credibility and governance. Also on the program, we will discuss the vital role of education in shaping Nigeria's future. But first, let's begin with our opening conversation of the day. The Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Nnaji, has resigned from office after reports emerged accusing him of forging his university and NYSC certificates. Presidential spokesperson Bayo Ononuga confirmed the resignation in a post on his X handle, stating that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has accepted Nnaji's decision to step down. According to Ononuga, the president thanked the former minister of his service and wished him well in his future endeavors. Findings from a detailed investigation revealed that Nnaji presented forged academic and NYSC documents during his ministerial screening in 2023. Evidence also showed that at the time he claimed to have graduated from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and completed the mandatory National Youth Service, he was still corresponding with the university on how to receipt a failed terminal course. Both the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, have since disowned the certificate, confirming that the document did not originate from their institutions. However, this development has sparked widespread outrage among Nigerians. Now, joining me to discuss this issue are Moses Okinla, the founder of the Lighted Pearl Africa Foundation, and virtually I have Abdul Kudus Adeyeye, a chartered public administrator, also Mojid Alabi, who is the chairman of the Education Writers Association of Nigeria and the editor-in-chief at Dev Reporting. Moses, thank you so much for joining me on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you.
All right, so let's begin with this conversation. How damaging do you think is a case like this to Nigeria's credibility, education system, and public institution, knowing fully well that the minister has resigned from his office after he was alleged of certificate forgery?
I think it's a very damning situation for the Nigerian education system. We cannot afford to keep having situations of forgery, certificate forgery, because it destroys the value of meritocracy. Yeah. Because it shows that people can just get into position of power with forged documents. And I think the Honorable Minister has done the right thing by resigning, because so many people might choose the dishonorable approach and not not resign. But thank God that this is happening in our time. And I think this will be a lesson to other prospective government position holders to ensure that they have the right certificates for everything before they get into any position in government. So do you not think that universities and agencies like the NYSC are doing enough to safeguard their records against manipulation? I think the NYSC and the universities to some extent have done so well in safeguarding their record, because for this to come out and the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, coming out to debunk that certificate was false, and NYSC also coming out to debunk the certificate, it shows that they have a system in place to check things like this. So I think they are really doing a good job, but they need to improve and do more in terms of ensuring that people, and I think they need to also create like a platform where people can verify or validate certificate, because if that platform was existing, I'm sure during the ministerial screening, somebody will have gone to that platform, verified the certificate before the approval. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, Mojid, and thank you for joining me on the program.
Yeah, good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
All right, thank you so much. So looking at this story, the Senate has screened this same minister in 2023. That's Minister Uche Nnaji. And now, we are now seeing that there are allegations of forged certification. And of course, that report was published from Premium Times. And I know that you also have an experience and a background from the Premium Times journalism newspaper. So what gaps in our verification process allow forged certificates to pass through high-level appointments, knowing fully well that this same minister was screened in 2023 by the Senate?
I think we have seen this before. It is not new. what we experience in terms of screening in Nigeria and background checks, they are just a show off. They are really not meant for anything. If anybody wants to get anywhere in the country, you get to wherever you are, and that's why we are happy that in this age and time, journalism seems to be at the work again. This is not the first minister who will have such a similar challenge. If you could recollect, in 2019 or thereabout, we had the case of Kemi Adeosun, who had to also call it quits because of an investigation by the same newspaper, Premium Times, where I also had the opportunity to serve as the development editor before I left in December. It's a culture in Nigeria where authorities gloss over things, and it's also a terrible system that also places emphasis on paper qualification. I'm not sure people will struggle to want to showcase that they have certificates just because it's a society that place so much emphasis on certificates. So it's a slap, not just on the National Assembly, not just on the face of the National Assembly. It's also a slap on the security architecture that we have in the country. SSS will tell you that, oh, we are conducting this, we are doing this search, it is all fraud. Nobody is checking anything. It was very clear right from the beginning that this man didn't have any certificate. So, and if somebody is saying he has resigned, resigning is not enough. This person should be made to face the music. You can't just resign, and it's I think the heads of the agencies concerned, particularly the SSS, should cover their face in shame. They can even, in fact, some of them who are responsible for certifying that this person is fit and should be confirmed, those individuals who, it shouldn't be only the minister that will call it quit. A few of them who are also directly responsible for certifying him to be fit for the National Assembly to pass him, I think should also face the music.
Thank you so much. So what role do you think that the Ministry of Education will play in preventing or exposing certificate forgery among public officials?
The Ministry of Education is also an extension of the larger Nigerian society. The people you find in the ministry, as I'm telling you today, I can tell you that there is another, the fraud. I don't know whether you could recollect that PR Nigeria did a report of a guy who actually did not go to school in Benin Republic, got a certificate, is it Benin Republic or Togo, got a certificate, and even participated in NYSC. Yeah. And the challenge is that it is not just that one. There are many of them. I still had a case about 2-3 days ago of a similar situation. In fact, this one has also finished NYSC, but ongoing for master's degree, they just found out in Nigeria that the foundation for the masters, which took her to participate in NYSC, never existed. It was not a degree program, and somebody in the ministry certified this person to have also gone through the process, and that the certificate was qualified for the candidate to proceed on NYSC. So the fraud is systemic. It is everywhere in the system, and that is why the government has also introduced a system that is called, they are creating a repository of education data. We don't know how much this is going to help because the people who are also going to upload and download and work on these things are also human beings who are Nigerians. So those are the challenges that we currently face. The human nature in Nigeria needs to be thoroughly reconfigured. The way we are wired at this time, I don't know. We are wired in a way that everybody just want to cheat the system in one way or the other. So, and that is the problem. So the Ministry of Education can only do little about this challenge. What we need to do as a people is to go back to the basics. Our religious institutions, our family, our homes, our schools must inculcate the virtue of integrity in all of us. A system where everyone must get rich quick, and that syndrome is what has now created a problem for all of us, and that is why everybody is looking for things in any way. This inordinate ambition must also be tackled right from the root. It's beyond the education sector alone. It's a family problem. It's a home problem. It's a religious institution problem. All of us who are preaching prosperity over salvation, prosperity over quality, over competence, over merit, over meritocracy, this is the challenge that we have. So it's beyond the education ministry.
Thank you so much for pointing that out. That is beyond the Ministry of Education. I wanted to ask, why do you think that certificate forgery remains common, especially among political appointees? And what impact does this even have on the morale of genuine graduates who are working hard to earn their qualifications?
We think we know because only the politicians are exposed because they are seeking political offices. A whole lot of people who get employed in places in various companies are also found to have displayed or to have submitted fake certificates, and that's what we are saying. There will continue to be fake certificates in our system because there is so much emphasis on paper qualification. My association, the Education Writers Association of Nigeria, we on 27th of November be convening a conversation around the Nigeria's obsession with paper qualification and the integrity of our public examination, which is about the reward system. People believe that it's only the certificate that you can recognize, and as a result of that, they want to get that certificate at all costs, whether it is genuine or counter. And that's why you have examination syndicates all over the places. Go and ask JAM, go and ask WAEC, go and ask NECO. They deal with a lot of examination syndicates all over the places. Tutorial centers, miracle centers, they are all over the places because they know that you don't value the skills in people. What you value is that a whole lot of people are displaying master certificates, this certificate, MBBM, and that's why you see a lot of titles. You see a lot of people showing so many things, FNIM, FSSS, HIV. This is nonsense. That is the culture that we have built. As long as that culture...
I beg to differ. Those are professional qualifications, sir. Some are professional qualifications.
What you call professional qualifications, titles, and that's why you see a lot, even among the ministers today, there are ministers that are using honorary doctorate degree against the practice in Nigeria. Yeah. They will add it to their title. It is illegal for you to add professional title of doctor to your name. And that's why you see doctor so. Ask them where they got it. It is one religious institution somewhere that gave them that title. It is illegal because there is a kind of a code of ethics designed by the education sector, especially the vice chancellors, who decided that before you can add titles to your name, the people it means you must have done serious training, serious academic work. But what you have today is that one organization somewhere that is non-existent, they will say they have affiliation with one institution in the US or UK. It's a lie, and they will bestow on you this is a PhD, honorary doctorate degree in this, in that, and you see them flaunting it. They want to be called doctors. So it's because of our love for titles, and it's because of a moral decadence in our system that has allowed this.
Which should be addressed. In order to add to that, I know that there have been recent calls by professors and of course doctors of universities saying that people should not be addressed with doctors if they haven't gone through the real academic process, and that's the genuine call you're also making right now. Thank you so much, Majid, for that wonderful contribution.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Abdul Kudus, if you can hear me.
Good afternoon, Matthew. Good afternoon.
All right, thank you so much for joining me on the program. So do you think that there should be stiffer penalties for public officials that are found guilty of forging academic documents?
Beyond just ordinary resignation, it is the criminal offense. So they need to be dealt with, and they need to be stopped from even contesting for many political office. Because you can't expect someone who have gone through the rigorous process of academic to get his BSc or master's and all to not to get what he or she wants. But look at what we have nowadays. You see students that will pass through the rigorous process just to.
All right, I think, hear me, please? Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So you can't expect those who went through the rigorous process to see in Nigeria. You can't when politics are.
All right, we are really struggling to. Okay, go ahead.
Certification. When we actually pass everything, you can imagine now when Okay. In Nigeria now, forgery is a criminal offense, and treating it lightly is something that is very, 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 very bad. We should be banned from contesting for any political office or holding any political office till the.
We are really struggling to hear you, Abdul Kudus. But as soon as we can reconnect with you, we would come back to you. Let me come to you, Moses. How do you think that schools and parents, communities, how do you think they should instill stronger values among pupils today, such that they'll be able to know that even from a younger age, you don't need to falsify certificate? And right now, until you grow older, you do not need to falsify certificate. You need to work for whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I think like one of the virtual speakers said,
Majid.
Yes, Majid. We need to change this culture of certification. If our focus is only on getting certificate, getting certified, and there is no value, no skill, people just run for the certification. They don't have the required skill for that certification. And it also starts with the family. You will see some parents, they are the ones that are encouraging these children that you must pass at all costs. So whether they cheat or they forge certificate, as long as they can get into the next level of education, the parents are okay with that. So I think it starts with the value systems and the family cultures in Nigeria. We need to fix that. We need to fix our emphasis as a nation. What are the things that we're emphasizing to our children? What are the values that we are instilling into these children? Because if these values are we are giving them the right value, I am sure that they would not even want to dare try anything like examination malpractice or certificate forgery.
Beautiful. So what reform do you think that can be recommended to restore public confidence?
So I think recently, I think the Ministry of Education introduced some new subjects to the education system. I think those things are now tailoring towards skill building than just getting certification. I think the Ministry of Education needs to focus more on giving skills to these people, just not just examination and getting results, because that's what our education system is based on. We want to get results. This person wants to be just get the grades, but the skill is not emphasized. So I think there needs to be a shift from grades to skills. So what can you do should be the question than what certificate do you have?
So you are Moses Okinla, and you're the founder of Lighted Pale Africa Foundation. Talking about skills, talking about knowledge, talking about sharing knowledge to the people. What have you been doing to contribute to the sustainable development growth of the nation?
Okay, thank you very much. That's an amazing question. Just recently, I think in August, we organized a 2-week boot camp for students. These are fresh students that have never in their life coded. They don't know digital skills. They have no vocational skills. And within 2 weeks of training, we have students already building applications, building games from scratch. So those are the kind of things we do in our organization to support the SDG4. The SDG4, that's quality education.
Yeah.
Not only that, in our organization, we give scholarships to so many students. There are so many students under our scholarships scheme, so that to support their education, we are not just going to focus on the paper certificate. We are also giving them skills. After school, every Saturday, we have a program called the Lighted Stars Mentorship Academy. This is where we give skills. We teach them soft skills and even art skills. We teach them sustainability skills and other skills that will make them better people in the future.
Beautiful, beautiful contribution. I don't know if you can still hear me, Abdul Kudus.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, so what are the things that you would propose for the minister right now as the situation unfolds?
We have to start with our advice, and the minister should digitalize academic records and also reform the service process, whereby everything needs to be cross-checked. For example, now they can create a QR code whereby every graduate in Nigeria is going to have a unique QR code attached to their certificate, whereby government, employees, and any other listening can just scan the QR code to confirm the authenticity of our certificate. You know, in a country whereby we we accept loyalties more than certifications. Now, because I joined the governor or the president during his electoral campaign and all, you will not even confirm if I have the authenticity or I have the correct certificate. You just give it to me. You just give a political appointment to me. That's why you see that all these certificates for this is common with political appointees, not even those that pass through the normal rigorous electoral elections. Now, political appointees are ones that they will not even give what you really want. Like they will not give the normal results of the reason why you appoint them. You just see governors, presidents, they just, even these days you see councillors appointing hundreds of appointees. So it's something very, very, very bad. And I also advise that to prioritize ethics in education. It's not just from the school alone. It starts from our home. Children and all, they just need to do. Our parents should just take care of of the children. Sorry.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that contribution. Let me come to you, Mojade. On a final note, what reform would you recommend to restore public confidence in Nigeria's educational system? Please unmute yourself, Mojade, if you can hear me.
Okay, sorry. So, like I said earlier, the basic thing is to first of all de-emphasize certification. Certificate is not key thing. We have traveled. Each time we go out of this country, we know what operates. Our reward system must be changed. Reward system in the sense that you have to understand that it is competence, skills, merits that should be rewarded and not just the position. What you have in our public system today is that an average person, once they secure job, whether into paramilitary, military, public, civil service, all that they want, all that they give is just that certificate. A whole lot of them. I know of a particular institution, high-paying institution, high-paying agency of government, where in a particular department, more than 44 people are there. Only about 3 or 4 people are doing the work. And most of these girls, most of these people that are employed, they are children of senators, children of these who studied abroad. They are here in the system, they cannot use that department. It is that child that attended, that child of a farmer who attended one school somewhere here, has the skill and is the one carrying almost all the load of about 14, 15 other people because they lack the skill. But these are the people who have been promoted because they have masters, they have PhD abroad. So what we should do is that there must be less emphasis on paper qualification. We must focus, and that is what the government has started with the reintroduction or reinvigoration of the TVET program. That is technical, vocational, and technology education. I think it's important for us. Many of our people who are abandoning our skilled work here, who are abandoning, you see that many of the work that we do, whether you are fashion designing, whether you are tiler, whether you are whatever, many of them are imported into this country because Nigerians have abandoned it. Not because they don't like it, but the reward system is bad. You must be a medical doctor before you hand a fairly good pay. You must be a lawyer before you are able to have the kind of a vision that you want to live well in the society. Whereas in abroad, a plumber, a panel beater, a cleaner, they do very well because they see them as professional. I was talking to a deputy high commissioner of Canadian High Commission in Nigeria some time ago, and he was telling me that he went back home. That's even as back as 2012 or thereabout. He was telling me that when he went back home, what did he find? He realized that he had a plumbing issue, but somebody to come and fix the leaking pipe and other things within the house was charging him what he, as the deputy high commissioner, will earn within a week. He will charge it because he's going to charge per hour. That is the system, a working system. So many are not struggling to go to university. That's why you see when people sit exams this year, UTME, you have about 1.9 million candidates. Ask how many of them are willing to go to college education. How many of them are willing to go to polytechnic? Right. The system of education in Nigeria is what we describe as an inverted pyramid. You have more people who are studying for higher degrees. You have less people who are supposed to be artisans. Right. But in the system, you have more professionals, less artisans, and the professionals are now being supervised by people who are from China, who are from Malaysia, who are studying, who are technicians, and they are the one now lording it over them because we value only certificates and not skill in Nigeria.
Thank you so much for your wonderful contribution, Mojeed. All right, thank you. You're still watching Edu Dialogue on Voice of the People Television. When we return, we will discuss how investing in children today can help shape a better Nigeria tomorrow. Please stay with us.
3 years ago, we lit the spark. Today, we are blazing the trail for others to follow. VOP Media is free. 3 years of breaking boundaries. 3 years of being that bold voice that echoes the thoughts of the people. 3 years of telling stories that matter.
We have experienced complete breakdown in democratic governance.
We are not just a brand. We are a movement, giving voice to the voiceless.
We go to bed empty hunger.
To every viewer, every voice, and everyone that has made us who we are, we say thank you. VOP Media, 3 years and still counting. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging 1-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
Ever wonder what inspires your favorite gospel artists? Explore and discover the rich heritage of continental gospel music and how this transformative journey has evolved and shaped cultures around the world. As we dig deep into archival treasures, feel the energy in our praise jam, Gospel Fusion on Voice of the People Television. Tune in this Sunday, 3 to 4 p.m. and be part of a transformative experience that uplifts and inspires. Join us as we explore the transformative power of gospel music and its ability to uplift spirits and unite hearts. Tune in this Sunday, 3 to 4 p.m. on Voice of the People Television. Gospel Fusion. Let's fuse our hearts in praise and joy.
For the extraordinary. Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
On Edu Dialogue, we bring you fresh ideas and conversations shaping the future of learning in Nigeria and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is Desmond Elliott hanging out at Go Get Face of Africa and saying, keep watching, don't change the dial. This is VOP TV.
My name is Esther. They call me the Oga of them are the general overseer of them all. Every man, every woman has got a voice where integrity is the volume. So this is Voice of the People's TV. Voice of the People's TV. So this is the people's voice. And the people's voice is the voice of God. That's the voice populi in Latin. The people's voice is the voice of God. So keep watching Voice of the People. In fact, my name is Voice of the People. Keep watching MC Adobe King.
Hi guys, my name is Kagan. I am Nigeria's biggest tech content creator, and I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Voice of the People TV. Keep watching, enjoy, and you're welcome.
My name is MC Alamano. They still call me Enjoy Landlord. It's VOP TV. Keep watching VOP TV. Don't touch it down. Even if you want to touch it down, increase the volume. If you don't increase the volume, I told me.
My name is Collins Agawabe, popularly known as No Mide, but last, more than No Mide, or more. Not be all so the cook right at the fry plantain. We keep on watching VOP TV. The voice of the people, the voice of Edo. If you want to get the authentic news for Edo, the way it be, that's why they show and all they cut anything come on. A VOP TV.
Welcome back to the program. Former Lagos State Commissioner for Education, Mrs. Folashade Adefisayo, has called for greater investment in the education and development of Nigerian children, describing them as the nation's true wealth. Speaking at an anniversary celebration in Lagos, the former commissioner said Nigeria's greatest treasure lies not in its oil reserves, but in its children who represent the country's future. She further stressed that teachers play a vital role in shaping the future and deserves more recognition and support than the nation's natural resources receive. Adefisayo noted that schools face many challenges from parents, regulators, and society, but urged all stakeholders not to lose sight of the core mission of educating and nurturing children. She also called on government, education leaders, and parents to work together to ensure holistic development for every Nigerian child, equipping them with the skills needed for the 21st century. And of course, to discuss with me, I still have Moses Okela, Abdul Kudus, and Mojid Arabi. Let me start with you, Mojid. Now, Mrs. Adefisayo says that Nigeria's greatest treasure lies not in its oil reserves, but in its children. What exactly does this mean in the practical term for Nigeria's education system? All right, I can't hear you, but let me begin with you, Moses. Like I said, the former commissioner says that Nigeria's greatest treasure lies not in its oil reserve, but in its children. What does it mean in practical terms for Nigeria's education system?
I think the former minister is actually, former commissioner is correct, because according to UNICEF, the population of Nigeria between the ages of 0 and 17 occupies about 50% of our population. So if we have 50% of the population and focus is not being placed on that 50%, then there is no future for the country. We need to invest so much in the education of that majority demographic, which is from 0 to 17, which make up the children and the adolescent. Also, the human capital for Nigeria, that is this age group that is at the human capital. They are the ones that should have the skill to build our economy. How do we want to build the economy if we are not focusing on this age group? So we need to put more attention on this age group to ensure that the country, to ensure that we have a future. Because without these people, we don't have a future. In the next 20 to 30 years, these people will occupy our workforce, they will occupy the government, they will occupy leadership positions. The investment we do today will determine how the outcome we get from them in the next 20 to 30 years. So the future of Nigeria actually depends on this demographic of people.
So how do we as individuals begin to invest in children? I want you to use, according to what you mentioned earlier about the SDG 4, which is a quality education that you are doing in the Lighted Pillar Africa Foundation. How do you think individuals can begin to invest in the children, and how can investment be prioritized in Nigeria's education system?
Okay, I think the investment needs to start with the family. Family must prioritize education for each child. Then it goes to the society, then it goes to the government. Everyone must work together. Even the private sector must join in this force, because you can't leave the education system only to the government. And the teachers, the parents also can't just leave it to the teachers. It has to start at home. It depends on the kind of habits the parents are forming in these children, even at home. Like what we do in our organization, we bring all these children together, people from low income that even some of their parents are not educated. And what we begin to instill into them are soft skills, things that will make them love education. Some of them, we take them through processes where we see that, okay, they are deficient in one subject or the other. And what do? We do foundational rebuilding for them, because some of them have faulty foundations, faulty educational foundations. So we build those foundations to ensure that they are able to stand in terms of their academic performance. And we've seen massive results. Recently, one of the girls in our mentorship academy wrote a WAEC, and she was one of the best students in the school, in the public school that she wrote the exam. This was somebody that couldn't even speak proper English before she joined our academy. So those are part of the things we are doing. So we want parents, the society, private sector, the government to do more for education.
And it shouldn't be restricted to non-governmental organizations.
Exactly.
Or only government alone.
Exactly. The government needs to create structures. Then the private sector needs to support those structures. We need to have private sectors adopting schools for development. Adopting schools for their corporate social responsibility. These are the things we need to start doing. It should be a mandatory thing for every company that is making profit in Nigeria. You need to invest in the future of Nigeria, because these children are the future of Nigeria. You cannot abandon, foreign companies cannot come in, take the profit, and leave. The future needs to be built, and it starts with educating the child.
The future needs to be built, and it starts with educating the child. Beautiful contribution. Let me come to you, Abdul Kudus. What kind of investment should be prioritized? Do you think infrastructure, teacher training, or curriculum reform should be prioritized? And according to the former commissioner, teachers are described as valuable. How do you think that valuable? What policies can be what policies can be put in place to ensure that teachers are being valuable, even than natural resources in the country? Please unmute yourself. All right.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Why all these three areas are very critical? All these three areas are very critical. The heart of any educational system lies in its teachers. We can have modern buildings, well-designed curriculum, but without competent, passionate, and well-motivated teachers, learning outcomes will remain very, very poor. Teachers' training should always, therefore, be the top priorities in Nigeria. Nigeria is to continue professional development model, whereby not just pre-service training or challenging stuffs or digital learning tools and the emotional needs of the student. Now, after selecting teachers, we can then focus on curriculum reform, updating content of our curriculum, and also make sure that we update every infrastructural facilities. Now look at the ways Nigerians, their youth are leaving the country because they want greener pasture. We are not being rewarded for what. For example, now look at someone who went to school, comes to the first class, and after all, he's not going to get a very good employment within the country. So this is what causes all this jackpot syndrome of the thing. So we also need to focus on infrastructural facilities, whereby classrooms, libraries, and digital labs complete the triangle, and also by providing the environment that allows teachers to learn and to thrive. So therefore, all these three areas are very, very critical. Both the social facilities, the teacher training, and also the curriculum reform.
All right, Majid, thank you so much. What urgent step can be taken to transform children into the kind of human capital that drives national progress? Please unmute yourself if you can hear me. Okay, let me take that question to Abdul Kudus. What steps can be taken to transform children into the kind of human capital that drives national progress? All right.
You have to focus on
yes, go ahead.
So can you hear me?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, number one, can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
I was asking for the step that Nigeria can take to transform children into the kind of human capital that drives national progress.
Okay. Yeah, first we must build a child-centered educational agenda whereby early children learning as a priority. That should be our very, very main focus. Also, the 21st century curriculum focus on problem solving and innovation.
Yeah.
And also, we have to do something like teachers' professionalism and also consistent policy in terms of training teachers, changing our curriculum, and also we must invest wisely in children. Nigeria will stop exporting we should not just stop exporting crude oil, but also we should start exporting knowledge, creativity, and leadership.
Thank you so much, Kudus, for that wonderful step. Yes, thank you so much for that wonderful contribution, and I really appreciate your presence on the program. And to Mojid as well, thank you so much for joining me on the program. I think it was network, but thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you. And to the founder of the Lighted Pearl Africa Foundation, Moses Okenla, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you so much.
And we hope to have you some other time.
Absolutely.
It has been an interesting conversation with you. All right, you're still watching Edu Dialogue on Voice of the People Television. When we return, we'll bring you top stories from Nigeria's education sector. Do join us again.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
The 2564 Atlantic Tower.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
Join us on People's Voice, where we amplify the voice of those that matters the most. Join the conversation. Share your thoughts with me. I am Xavier Udo. Weekdays, Monday through Friday, from 4 p.m. to 5. Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
The name is Joke Silva.
Voice of the people. You can hear me now. My name is Patrick Doyle, and I wish that you continue to echo the voices of the people. Big up VOP TV.
My name is Suibifa Dokobo. Please keep watching VOP TV.
Hi, my name is Kwekumali Ikenna Onyekwena, and I am with the Voice of the People TV. Now, if you're looking for the veritable channel for information, politics, robust discussions, you don't need to go far. VOP has you. VOP will always have you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Diabwa, aka Ibani Chuka, Amayanabo the Eagle King, and you are watching VOP TV. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the program. The West African Examination Council, WAEC, has urged senior secondary school students to begin preparing for the full computer-based testing system ahead of the 2026 Senior School Certificate Examination. The head of the National Office, Dr. Amos Dangot, made this known during a sensitization rally in Lagos, explaining that the May-June 2026 examination will be conducted entirely through the CBT. He said the nationwide campaign is aimed at ensuring students, parents, and schools, especially in rural areas, are well informed and adequately prepared for the transition. He also clarified that the recent removal of trade subjects from continuous assessment scores on the WAEC portal was a directive from the federal government and other education stakeholders in line with the revised curriculum, and while assessing that there is no cause for alarm, as WAEC remains committed to ensuring a smooth and successful implementation of the CBT format in 2026. A professor of Middle Eastern Studies at the Lagos State University, Said Timeni, has cautioned students against the excessive dependence on artificial intelligence for their academic research. Speaking at the retirement ceremony of Professor Olujimi Kayode held at the Faculty of Communication and Media Study, Professor Timilei emphasized that ethics must remain central to communication practice. He warned that over-reliance on AI could destroy students' creativity and critical thinking, urging them to carry out original research and value human intelligence. The Cheerful Samaritan Foundation has extended support to over 280 children in Ogun State through its outreach tagged Easing the Child School Burden on Parents. The event provided school materials and assistance to physically and financially challenged pupils, easing the pressure on parents as the new academic session begins. The founder of the foundation, Temitayo Israel, shared his inspiring story, revealing that his passion for giving back comes from personal experiences, including surviving 2 fatal accidents, one of which led to the loss of his arm. He further said that the foundation's goal is to be a beacon of compassion and empowerment to special children, providing education, welfare, and skills development support. And that's it on today's edition of Edu Dialogue on Voice of the People Television. We have examined the troubling issue of certificate forgery and reflected on the urgent need to invest in our children, the true wealth of the nation. Remember that education remains the bridge between potential and purpose. And for more updates and engaging conversation, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV. You can also follow us across all other social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. If you witness news happening near you, we want to hear from you. So share your eyewitness reports, event coverage requests, photos or video with us on WhatsApp at 0814-606-4057. You can also reach our newsroom directly via email at news@vop.ng. I'm Matthew Ogunswada saying thank you for watching. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in the power of education.